navigating long-distance relationships, even when you're in the same room. In a world that feels more connected than ever, it's ironic how physically far apart some of our closest relationships can be. Whether due to education, work, family responsibilities, or even the start of a romance online, long-distance relationships (LDRs) are becoming increasingly common. And while they come with real challenges, longing, time zones, missed milestones, they can also foster deep emotional intimacy, strong communication skills, and a powerful sense of commitment. However, when people think of long-distance relationships (LDRs), they usually picture couples living in different cities, countries, or even continents, separated by geography, relying on screens and scheduled calls to stay connected. But there's another kind of distance that's just as real and often more painful. Emotional distance between couples who are physically in the same place. Whether you are miles apart or lying side by side in silence, emotional disconnection can creep in slowly and erode the bond you once shared. In both cases, the solution lies not just in closing the physical gap, but in rebuilding emotional intimacy and intentional connection. Let's explore how to navigate both kinds of long distance, love, across miles or behind closed doors, and how to truly bridge the emotional divide. 1. Communication is your lifeline. No matter the distance, whether you're across time zones or across the dinner table, the lack of meaningful communication is the fastest way to drift apart. In geographically distant relationships, communication requires planning, scheduled calls, thoughtful messages, virtual dates. In emotionally distant relationships, communication is often replaced with surface-level small talk, distracted phone scrolling, or long silences filled with unspoken resentment. In both cases, the remedy is the same. Create space for honest conversations. Ask open-ended questions like, "How are we really doing?" Share your emotions, not just your daily updates. Be brave enough to bring up hard topics with kindness. True connection doesn't depend on proximity. It depends on presence. The key is not quantity, but quality. Be fully present when you talk. Put away distractions. Make each conversation count. And don't just talk about logistics or to-do lists. Share feelings. Be vulnerable. Ask about each other's days, even the little things. These moments create emotional intimacy. 2. Define the distance. You're dealing with, in a classic LDR, the distance is easy to define. It's physical. You live apart. But emotional distance is harder to pinpoint. It can look like going days or weeks without truly talking, avoiding eye contact or physical affection, feeling more like roommates than partners, withdrawing emotionally after conflict, choosing distractions, TV, work, social media, over intimacy. If you're experiencing this, don't just ignore it. Acknowledge the emotional gap and work together to identify why it's happening. Then take steps, big or small, to reconnect. Without shared expectations, misunderstandings can multiply. Talk about your needs. Be honest. And remember, expectations are not ultimatums. They're agreements made from mutual respect. 3. Emotional intimacy requires intentional effort. Long-distance couples often become masters of emotional intimacy because they have to be. They ask deep questions, share vulnerabilities, and listen with intention. Ironically, couples who are physically together can start taking that closeness for granted. If you're living together but feeling emotionally apart, try creating screen-free time every day to talk. Having weekly relationship check-ins to share feelings and goals. Revisiting your early conversations, dreams, fears, hopes, desires. Asking, "What do you need from me emotionally right now?" Connection isn't just about proximity, it's about priority. Emotional connection isn't just about romance, it's about understanding each other's world. For trust and transparency matter in both scenarios. For long-distance couples, trust is the glue that holds everything together. Without physical access, emotional reassurance becomes even more vital. For emotionally distant couples, trust may already be eroding silently. Misunderstandings go unaddressed. Emotional needs are dismissed. Vulnerability is met with coldness or shutdown. In both dynamics, you need safe spaces to talk about insecurities, honesty about what you're struggling with, reassurances that love still exists, even if it feels quiet. Transparency builds bridges. Secrets and silence build walls. Likewise, jealousy and secrecy can poison a relationship. Openness, honesty, and reassurance create safety. 5. Create moments of connection, even in small ways. Long-distance couples often find joy in sending letters, planning virtual dinners, or sharing music playlists. If you're emotionally disconnected while living together, you can apply the same creativity to reconnect. Leave handwritten notes in surprising places. Cook a meal together. Not just eat, but enjoy the process. Revisit a favorite movie or memory from your early days. Dance in the kitchen. Walk without your phones. Hug for more than 5 seconds. Even 5 minutes of intentional connection each day can start to melt the emotional ice. And remember, parting after a visit is tough, but it can also renew your sense of purpose for why you're doing this in the first place. 6. Talk about the future and the now. LDR couples often talk about when we'll finally be together, which gives them hope and direction. Emotionally distant couples, though physically close, may feel stuck in routines without dreaming together. The future becomes blurry and the present becomes stale. Reignite your shared vision by asking, what do we want our relationship to look like in a year? What's something new we can do together this month? Are we still growing together or just coexisting? Long-distance love without vision can feel like running on a treadmill, but with purpose, it becomes a journey, a meaningful chapter in a larger love story. The future is shaped by the quality of your now. Make now count. 7. Rebuild emotional safety. Sometimes, emotional distance is caused by past hurt, things said or unsaid, betrayals of trust, or unresolved conflict. The heart builds walls to protect itself. To break down those walls, acknowledge the pain without defensiveness, apologize sincerely when needed, offer reassurance, not solutions. Create a space where feelings are allowed, even the messy ones. Healing takes time, but with mutual effort, emotional safety can return. 8. Don't ignore the physical. While emotional closeness is primary, physical touch and affection play a vital role in both LDRs and in emotionally disconnected in-person relationships. For long-distance couples, schedule visits when possible. Send personal gifts, scents, or clothing items to create a sense of closeness. Use video calls to maintain eye contact and body language cues. For emotionally distant couples, rekindle non-sexual touch, holding hands, cuddling, a gentle back rub. Be intentional about physical intimacy, not just routine, but affectionate. Ask, do you feel loved when I touch you? And adapt accordingly. Physical presence without emotional intimacy feels hollow, but physical affection, when rooted in love, helps rebuild emotional bridges. 9. Keep romance alive. Distance doesn't have to mean dullness. In fact, it gives you a chance to be creative. Send surprise letters, care packages, or small gifts. Record voice messages or make playlists. Celebrate anniversaries or milestones with online dinners or countdown apps. These small gestures help keep the spark alive and show that you're thinking of each other, even when life gets busy. 10. Consider counseling or relationship coaching. Whether you are oceans apart or emotionally drifting while living together, there's no shame in asking for help. Therapists and counselors can help unpack deeper issues. Relationship coaches offer practical tools to improve connection. Group support or couples workshops can provide new perspectives. Seeking support doesn't mean your relationship is failing. It means you care enough to invest in its healing. Final thoughts. Love beyond distance. Distance comes in many forms: physical, emotional, or spiritual. But no matter what kind of gap you're facing, love is still possible. It just takes courage, commitment, and communication. Whether you're separated by miles or a shared bed with silence, don't give up on your connection. Start talking again. Start listening differently. Start loving with intention, not just habit. It might test you. It might grow you. But it can also bring out the best in your love. Because the truth is, it's not distance that destroys love. It's disconnection. And connection can always be rebuilt, one honest moment at a time. Similarly, love doesn't always need proximity. It needs presence. And presence is built through intention, not location. What's your opinion about this? Please comment, subscribe, share, and like my channel so that you can get more of this content. Thank you. Once more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talks about love, healing, and self-discovery.